Well, the job was first advertised internally, I think probably about April last year, and then it was re-advertised. And it was advertised for 8 hours a week for a member of staff who had to be clinically based and with a background in management, governance or staff side. So I didn't apply initially, but I did apply when it was re-advertised. Because I am interested in supporting staff. To me, as a rep, I'm the rep for the Society of Radiographers, and it's almost an extension of that. And Freedom to Speak Up is supporting staff to look after our patients and to make it a safe place to work and a safe place for the patients to be cared for. There's been more public speaking and things like that than I was anticipating. I probably should. And a lot of time spent promoting it. And with us being a geographically challenged trust, it does take a long time to get the message out and physically walk around the bay. And my hours have gone up now to 3 days a week. I do the corporate induction once a fortnight roughly, so that all new starters know how to contact me and who to contact and why. And I've reached out to other staff by walking around, visiting where they work and engaging them in conversation. It has helped. It's really helped me being a radiographer, because radiographers do go all over the hospital. We go to ICU, the wards, the theatres, so we're quite familiar with the whole trust, and I've made efforts to meet non-frontline staff. Obviously staff meet up with me and we discuss the nature of the concern first and how to escalate it. After first contact, I usually phone a member of staff to make sure it's not a personal grievance that might have to go back to their union. But I will always meet up with any staff because I want to be approachable, so that if staff have concerns, they're not worried to come and ask me about them at all. At first it was quite quiet because we just promoted through the intranet and the local press. And it was only when I walked around, because clinical staff, any clinical staff will tell you that they don't actually have time to access trust communications in their normal working day. Even in my day job, where we're surgically joined to the intranet, we don't have time to go in and look at trust communications when it's busy. So by going around and sort of meeting people face to face, that's really helped. I've met up with staff groups like the Medical Staff Committee, the Royal Volunteer Service, and been to various staff groups, and especially ones that go around the hospital. And they're like fresh ears and eyes in places. We all work in our own little bubble, and that familiarity can, breed complacency really. So it's good for me to get out and see staff that go around as new eyes, consultants and hotel services, and the volunteers, and all students as well. Generally, I can't discuss individual cases, but generally some relate to patient safety incidents, and the rest are generally about behaviours. The staff have taken on the behavioural standard framework, which was launched last year, shortly after Freedom to Speak Up was started. And that outlines how we're all expected to behave. And I think initially some staff were a little bit saying, do we really need this? But they've actually embraced that quite enthusiastically, and behaviours that they might have put up with in the past, they say, well, hang on, no, it's not okay to behave like that. And so they do use the behavioural standards framework, to come and see me, and we discuss what's appropriate and what they can do about it. Nationally, they've now got the Office of the National Guardian, so that's sort of come after me being in post and other FTSE Guardians around the country. So as I've been doing that for nearly a year, they've asked me to go and help with their training and presentations at Newcastle, Birmingham, and there are workshops developing for that. So I'd expect more networking and hopefully more support from the Office of the National Guardian. Post, I do enjoy it, and I'm getting better at switching off at weekends now. I do turn my phone off now when I go home. I enjoy, and I've had really good feedback from some staff. Sometimes it's almost because I keep in touch with them, let them know what's going on, and they can seem almost disproportionately grateful for that, but maybe in the past that hasn't happened. Just letting them know that maybe a concern they've raised, this is happening, that is happening. Staff really appreciate that sort of feedback. Just being kept informed.